On our screens now, we can see we're about 30 seconds out from the launch of this Falcon rocket, which is going to, on board, among other things, are three nanosatellites. Those are three small satellites. And there we go. Let's take it live and watch.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Pressures are nominal. Power and telemetry nominal.
All right, as you can see, Falcon 9 has cleared the tower, lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. We just heard the call out that the vehicle is supersonic. We're currently going to throttle down the engines in preparation for max Q coming up.
Max Q.
Oh, there we heard it. So that was the moment of greatest aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will experience in flight today. Everything looking nominal with stage 1 trajectory. Now we have 5 events coming up in quick succession. MECO, or main engine cutoff, stage separation, stage 1 flip, second engine start 1, and the boost back burn. And you can follow along with those events there on the timeline at the bottom of your screen. Beautiful view of the Florida coastline. Main engine cutoff coming up in just under 30 seconds. As I mentioned before, we will be attempting to land the booster back on land at landing zone 1. This is known as return to launch site, as opposed to a drone ship landing.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed. Back startup.
Stage 1 boost back startup.
So you can see there on the right-hand side of your screen, second stage MVAC engine has ignited. The first stage on the left-hand side is performing the boost back, which, as you saw just moments ago, the first stage flipped itself over and is now making its way back to the coast of Florida. Everything looking nominal with second stage trajectory there on the right-hand side of your screen.
Stage 1 boost back shutdown.
All right, so there we heard the call out that the boost back burn has concluded. That was the first of 3 burns that the first stage will perform today. And we can see the grid fins beginning to deploy there on the left-hand side of your screen. The next event we have coming up is fairing deployment. All right, there you can see the 2 fairing halves have separated, fallen away from the vehicle, exposing the 105 spacecraft to the vacuum of space. As a reminder, we will be attempting to recover these brand new fairing halves once they make their way back to Earth. We're currently in the first of 2 MVAC burns. This first one will last until T plus 8 minutes and 26 seconds, about another 4 minutes from now. Beautiful views from the first stage there on the left-hand side of your screen and the second stage on the right. The next milestone will be the first stage booster re-entry burn. Falcon 9 executes an entry burn to slow itself down before hitting the dense part of the atmosphere. Without this burn, relying on the atmosphere alone to slow down the Falcon 9 would put unnecessary strain on the rocket. And there we can see the east coast of Florida.
Stage 2 on a nominal trajectory.
Space Coast there in the background of on the left-hand side. Once again, we are launching the Transporter 3 mission today. This is SpaceX's third dedicated small-sat rideshare program mission, and it's our second mission of 2022. SpaceX is targeting at least 3 dedicated rideshare flights to sun-synchronous orbit per year, and we also offer opportunities for a ride to orbit on our Starlink missions, which launch every couple of weeks. Small sats can ride to space on SpaceX's Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, as well as Starship in the not-too-distant future. On the left-hand side of your screen, we can see those grid fins have deployed. Falcon 9 has 4 hypersonic grid fins positioned at the base of the inner stage, and they orient the rocket during reentry by moving the center of pressure. We can also see some white puffs of gas coming off from Falcon 9. Those are cold nitrogen gas, which help with attitude control. After first stage landing, the second stage will cut off its MVAC engine and relight it approximately 45 minutes later for deployment of all 105 spacecraft. As for first stage, its next event is the entry burn.
Stage 2 FTS has safed.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there on your screen, we can see that that entry burn has begun. Once again, this burn is designed to slow the booster down as it returns through the dense part of the atmosphere.
Stage 2 on nominal trajectory.
As we just heard there,
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
everything continuing to look good with second stage. As I mentioned earlier, we'll be attempting to recover this booster for the 10th time today, and we're targeting a land landing at landing zone 1. The first stage has just one more burn left, the
Stage
landing
1
burn.
FTS is safe.
It begins just before touchdown and provides the booster a soft descent before landing. About the same time that Falcon lands, we are expecting SECO, or second engine cutoff, 1 of our second stage. Just a few seconds away from landing.
Stage 1 is transonic.
Vehicles traveling around 900 miles per hour really puts the deceleration into perspective. In the span of less than a minute, we'll have reduced from twice the speed of a
Stage
jet
1 landing burn.
all the way down to 0 as the rocket lands. There's a view on the right-hand side
Stage 2 in terminal guidance.
of the landing back at landing zone 1. As you heard from the call out there and from the cheers behind me, we have successfully landed this Falcon 9 for the 10th time. It's also the 102nd recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Nominal parking orbit.
All right, so we just heard there, second stage had a good orbit. So we cut off or shut down the MVAC engine on the second stage. And as we just heard, we had good orbit. So we're now going to coast for the next 45 minutes or so while we wait for second engine start 2, or SES 2. We'll see you back here at around T plus 55 minutes.
Expected LOS keep.
quite incredible to see. That is SpaceX's Falcon 9. Now that is a partially reusable, you saw it land, it's incredible. It's a two-stage to orbit medium lift launch vehicle. And of course the reason we're so excited here in South Africa is that we've hitched a ride. 3 South African-made nanosatellites. Nanosatellites are small satellites. They weigh, I think, under 10 kilograms each. And these 3 satellites are going to be launched into low orbit to monitor what is happening on our seas and on our coastline. And this helps to pick up poaching, illegal vessels, that sort of thing. So it's really exciting. It is part of a ride share, as I explained. We are catching a ride with about 105 other spacecraft. So this is something that SpaceX does from time to time. And after 6 o'clock, I will be speaking to Dr. Phil Mjwara. He's the DG of the Department of Science and Technology. He's going to explain a little bit more about how these nanosatellites were made in South Africa, South Africa's space ambitions, and everything you want to know about